Smut is an important disease of sugarcane in South Africa, which results in significant losses in cane yield and juice purity. Smut-infected stools release billions of spores that can be blown across to surrounding fields and farms. To reduce the risk of spread, we need to get rid of these infected stools. This process is called roguing. Roguing removes smut whips and eradicates infected plants from the field. This minimizes the dispersal of spores within the field and to surrounding fields and farms, thereby slowing down the rate of infection. When smut hazard levels are exceeded, roguing is compulsory. At high smut levels, you will be legally obliged to eradicate the crop within a specified time frame. To avoid this, routine scouting and roguing is recommended. Manual roguing, which involves the physical removal of stools together with the roots using hoes or other implements, is the most popular method at the moment. But often, stools are not removed completely, especially when the soil is dry and hard. These stools will continue to produce whips. Manual roguing is physically demanding, time-consuming, and costly. Chemical roguing is less labor-intensive and cheaper than manual roguing. It is a quick and efficient method with an increased likelihood of completely killing infected stools. With chemical roguing, only the whips are removed from the field. The infected stools are sprayed with a 10% glyphosate solution and left to die in the field. For chemical roguing, you will need the following equipment: a pair of gloves, a pair of secateurs or clippers. Always disinfect the secateurs before entering the field to reduce the risk of spreading RSD between fields. Plastic bags, such as used fertilizer bags. A 10% glyphosate solution. A hand or spot sprayer that delivers a coarse droplet size to reduce the risk of drift. Do not use knapsacks because these are bulky and there is greater risk of overspray. Now, let's look at the steps involved in chemical roguing. Look for symptoms of smut. When a sugarcane stool is infected with smut, you will notice that some of the shoots become elongated, so they are long and thin. If you cannot see a smut whip at this stage, we call this an incipient whip. Eventually, a whip will start to emerge from the top of the shoot. When an infected stool is identified, cut off all the whips, including the incipient whips. It is very important to remove the whole whip, but you do need to leave some green leaves so that the glyphosate can be taken up by the plant. Ideally, we need about 3 green leaves for good uptake. Be careful not to cut too high on the stalk, as the whip will continue to emerge until the stool dies. Place the whips upside down in the bag to reduce the risk of the spores being spread while walking through the field. Hold the remaining leaves in a gloved hand and spray them fully. Then, using an upward motion, wipe the leaves with the glove. Take care not to spray neighboring healthy plants. If there is a large cluster of infected shoots, apply a second spray to ensure complete coverage. The stool should die within 4 weeks. When smut infection is high, it helps to work in pairs, with one person walking in front, pointing out infected stools and cutting off the whips. The second person then applies the glyphosate. Staff need to be trained properly for the operation to be successful and to reduce the risk of overspray to neighboring healthy stools. Wind speeds should ideally be below 10 km per hour to prevent drift to neighboring healthy plants. Rain or irrigation within 4 to 6 hours of application may reduce the herbicide's effectiveness.